Hello and welcome to day 13 of the Mindfulness Challenge. What we're going to be focusing on today is giving up waiting as a state of mind. For many of us, we kind of look for happiness or joy or our experiences wherever we're not. We see the grass as being greener somewhere on the other side. And a lot of that has to do with how the mind really wants to kind of be somewhere, right? Avoid what's really here right now, unless it's feeling really, really good, and then we want to just be there, right? But we go to work, and oftentimes we want to have the end of the day be there earlier than it is, or, we're doing something, we'd rather be on vacation, or whatever it might be. And the real thing here is just allowing ourselves to come into fully being and resting in awareness of the experiences around us, within us, and just being the watcher, right? That once we get caught up in our emotions or thoughts, we can get lost in it, and in that being lost, we can feel like, oh, I'd rather be somewhere else. I'd rather be this, or I'd rather have this. That's another piece, right? Always wanting more, desiring to have a different life or a different house or a different whatever it might be, right? A different neighborhood, a different place, a different whatever. And so what we know to be is that that's fighting what is actually in the present moment, and we just want to be at ease with what is. In that ease, we'll find peace, we'll find equanimity, we'll find the understanding that things are the way they are, and we should learn to just be with it. Then that's the practice, right? Being with what is in a state of observation. So allow yourself to find a straight spine. Invite the shoulders to drop down. If you're sitting in a chair, let the feet be flat on the floor. And if you're cross-legged on the floor on a cushion, just notice the contact points of your legs. And gently close those eyes if you haven't done so already. And just check in to the body, starting by checking in on the contact points, the sit bones, wherever the contact is with the floor, the weight of the body. And notice where your hands are. And if your back is straight or leaning back against the chair, just notice. And then just checking with our thinking mind. Has the mind already started to think about what's going to happen next, or what's later today, or next week, or a month from now? Or has it gone into retrieving memories of the past, and maybe at times replaying what happened in the past and trying to figure out the way you wish it would have happened? And just fully allowing yourself to arrive right here, right now, in your body, in your mind, and in your heart. And allow your attention to follow the breath. The inhale at a normal state, the space, the exhale, and then again. Just noticing with the silence if the mind went into thinking, or if the breath was still in awareness, or if the physical body called your attention. Remember, you can always bring the mental noting in and just allow whatever is arising to arise without any need to change it, but just in noticing it, know that it can change the path. So maybe finding that spot where the breath is most prominent and allowing yourself to really be with the breath, following it, tracking it like you track a newborn baby, as you would see every movement being made. Notice what the inhale provides, the length, the pace, if it's easeful or is it stagnant, and the pause and the exhale. And as we notice the breath, we notice habitual patterns of the mind. And in that noticing of our patterns, we can create new patterns, new ways. So if we tend to always want to get things done, we can use mindfulness as a way to really just be present with the whole process. So maybe even we're seated, practicing the breath awareness, and our mind starts wandering and saying, I would rather be doing something else. Just aware of what that is, notice it, and come back to the breath. Or I don't have time, right? We always give us those hypercritical ideas of, well, I don't have this or I don't have that. And the truth of the matter is if we really want something, we create time for it. If we need something, we make it a pattern, a discipline. So now as we shift from awareness of the breath into the body, let's just check in, really fully going into what it means to be in your skin, with your muscles, the tissue, the cells, the bones, the blood, the ligaments, every aspect. And if the body has any areas of suffering or pain, we just gently notice. Just gently check in on the areas that we might be holding stress. And at this point, over the last couple weeks, you probably know a little bit more of where emotions show up in the body. So maybe check our shoulders and we realize, whoops, maybe the whole day I've been shrugging them. And just through awareness, they relax. Or we check around our eyes and notice the temples are tight. And just in awareness, they relax. The standard procedure when we encounter physical or emotional or mental suffering is often to avoid it or ignore it at all costs, to be as far from it as we can. And that creates more stress and strain because the further we try to run from it, the harder it will chase us and harder it will impact our lives. So as soon as we notice either physical, emotional, or mental pain, we just hold it, we caress it, we welcome it, and we inquire, what is it that you have to teach me? So maybe your body right now has got an area that's calling your attention. And just through breathing into that space and noticing the experience of the body, it creates an opportunity for you to have a deeper connection and a awareness connection that will dissolve it in that way. Just notice where your mind is right now. Is it in the stage of waiting as a state of mind? Is it wondering, when am I going to be done? Or what's the next piece? And just gently bring attention to our thoughts. Patience, compassion, and kindness. Is the mind wandering in thought all over the place? Is the flow of thinking very fast, like water rushing down a stream? Or is there space between the thoughts? Are the thoughts about the future or the past? And just by noticing mental activity, you'll notice things change. You might see more spaciousness in the mind's eye. In that space where maybe the amount of thoughts have created exhaustion. Most of us are not exhausted after the day physically. We're exhausted because of the mental activity, and most of the mental activity was about the future or the past. So with mindful awareness of the thoughts, we're able to really just observe and then notice if there's any connection to emotions, and just breathe into that space. Just allowing ourselves to fully arrive over and over and over again. Arrive into the breath, arrive into the body, arrive into the mind's thinking or our emotions. Just letting ourselves settle in. Noticing what happens with silence. Does the mind go into thinking mode, or do we bring awareness to sound, or are we with the emotions that are rising? So over the next minute, allow yourself to just fully sink as far into this present moment as possible. Notice that you have an opportunity at every breath to just be a little more intimate with the here and now. If the body's feeling discomfort, or the mind is feeling discomfort as well, we don't resist. We allow it to be and just notice that experience. If it's resistance or physical pain, whatever it is, we just notice. Just fully sinking in, arriving. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. Now to end, we're going to do a 30 to 45 second breathing exercise. It's called 2-to-1 ratio breathing, and the idea is that to really ignite and awaken our parasympathetic nervous system, our rest mode, the exhale needs to be longer than the inhale. For many people, they think the inhale is supposed to be long, to calm your body down, but it's actually much more important to have a deep exhale so the body can sink into that parasympathetic nervous system. So we're going to breathe in, 1, 2, 3. Breathe out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3. Breathing out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3. Breathing out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let the natural breath come back into awareness. And let's be present as often as possible. But if we get distracted and we forget, we use non-judgmental awareness. Here we are again, this breath, this body, this mind, this heart. May you be well, and I'll see you at day 14.